goes to Alaska, we'll see, of course, on top of the reliquary is the iron cross that he actually would wear around his neck with an iron paramount on the back. He was a man of great prayer, whose prayer went like fire straight to heaven. By his prayers, a storm ceased. But above all, it was by his prayers that the faithful people of Kodiak Island embraced the true faith. At the time, the Russians themselves were not the best of missionaries. In fact, one could say they were probably the worst. But Saint Herman himself and those that were sent with the purpose of bringing the gospel to the natives, they were the absolute best of missionaries, unparalleled in history. The natives still refer to him as Abba, which is the native word for father, Abba Herman. They talk to him. He's still very much in their midst, and it was his example of simple love for Christ and a desire to fulfill his holy will that guided his actions, and it was his example of love to the faithful people of Kodiak Island that really turned these people into Christ-loving, faithful, Orthodox Christians for whom orthodoxy was absolutely everything. It was the center of their life. It was the meaning of their life. It was the hope that they had, no matter how difficult times, the difficult times that would face them and that confronted them. When I first went up to Alaska, one of the first things the Bishop of Alaska needs to do is actually to check to see that the relics of Saint Herman are intact and to see what's actually there. Because of course, many of the relics have gone throughout, even North America for antimonies. And when I opened up the reliquary, just almost a wave of fragrance came out. I've, of course, been on the Holy Mountain, where I've, of course, been around many, many fragrant relics, but I've not encountered any relic quite so fragrant as that of our Father among the saints, Saint Herman. I've been to the Holy Mountain. Some of the fathers have also been there. It's a holy place. It's a place of prayer. But the first time I went to Spruce Island, there was a purity in that place that I didn't experience even on the Holy Mountain. And that was from the simple prayers of this hermit monk, this monk who was really forced out of where he was living and really went into exile. But exile for him was, of course, a great source of joy, because at last this monk who had found himself thrown into the world in order to be a missionary, was able to end his life as a hermit, living a life of prayer, and a life that filled his heart with joy, his heart with peace, his heart with every sort of heavenly blessing. So it's, of course, only right that, of course, we remember him on this day, and that we ask for his holy intercessions, that we too, like him, his unworthy servants, might strive to fulfill Christ's holy will in our lives, that we may show others that an Orthodox Christian is above all someone who loves his neighbor, someone who forgives his neighbor, and someone who does everything he can so that his neighbor can find salvation. May God bless all of you on this day. Again, thank you for having me with you.
Through the prayers of our Holy Fathers, through Jesus Christ our God, have mercy on us and save us.